Hey, Pastor Ray Barnett here with you. Glad that you could be with me here on The Oasis. And as always, I wish you a good morning, good afternoon, or a good evening, depending on what time you're watching this broadcast. Today is December the 27th. The year is 2022. And before you know it, in just a few days, this year will be over. Some of you, and it's hard to believe a year has gone by. But some of you will remember that in January 2022, we set a goal of totally conquering your symptoms in this last year. And so many of you have done exceptionally well in that regard. Hard to believe that much time has gone by. I told you, I think, in the broadcast a couple days ago, I sat in my office about a week and a half ago, too. And it's here at the church during the week. There's no one here. And could hear my clock ticking, I just sat there and the thought came to me. Every time there was a tick, I spoke out loud the word gone. 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 For 30 seconds or so. It was a little exercise that came into my mind to remind me of how fast time actually goes. Now, none of us are living our lives second by second. But I think we could probably say minute by minute. Maybe that's still slicing it a bit thin. But definitely hour by hour. Then hours, days, weeks, months, years. Before you know it, it's all gone. Live those seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years long enough, life is over. It's all done. It's all gone. So we don't want to waste time. We want to invest our time in things that really matter. And for you, the thing that's most important, God always being understood that He comes first, is your health. There's nothing more important than your health. When you don't have good health, you don't have anything. It affects marriage, family, relationships, work, and go out and out and out. It affects everything. So, just by the application of very simple logic, your health must be number one priority at all times. Above marriage, above family, above children. And why? Because without your health, you don't have any of those things. At least you don't have them operating and functioning properly. So health has got to be, and here we deal with mental health. Mental health has got to be number one priority in your life at all times. So these coming broadcasts, we will maybe start to review some things I've gone over with you for the last couple of years. But there's one thing I just wanted to share with you about. I remember I did this last year, and I'm pretty sure that I shared it with you when I did. But on the seasonal depression, again, today is December the 27th, and it's just 2 days after Christmas. And I shared with you last week how I always had this, I just call it a down feeling. But that's just a kind of a minor form of depression. Very minor in my case. The day after Christmas. Everything that built up to Christmas Day and everything. Memories as a child of the Christmas tree and opening gifts that my parents had got me. To my own children, and watching them open gifts that my wife and I had got for them, toys and different things. And oh boy, I tell you, just listening to them laugh and listening to them excited about things, whatever they opened, they got, something they had mentioned they would want, and they got it. And I think for me, it was no real secret why I felt down the day after, the very morning after Christmas. Because the spirit of Christmas, which in many ways is the spirit of Christ, appears for a short season, usually a few weeks, then one day, there's food, there's family, whatever, and then it's all over. And it's business as usual for a lot of us. But here's what I want to give to you. A thought came to me last year, and I tried it, and I'm doing it again this year, if this would help you. It may not. I play a lot of Christmas music, as a lot of people do. A friend of mine just today told me he bought a brand new TV. He sat down with by himself, I think, and just sat and watched White Christmas. That's his personal tradition. My personal tradition is Christmas Eve, when I'm ready to go to bed, I watch a Christmas Carol. Dickens' story, put to film back in 1934 with Reginald Owen, one of the original old black and whites. It's my Christmas tradition. Been doing it for decades. So, you know what I watched last night? Well, I watched a little bit of The Wizard of Oz, because that has pleasant memories for me too. But I watched a little bit of A Christmas Carol again. And my favorite singer of all time is Nat King Cole. Always has been my favorite singer. I suppose he always will be. And I play a lot of his music, you know, the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire and all that. What I did last year, I'm doing again this year. I'm still playing the Christmas music. Probably take a peek at A Christmas Carol. The idea for me, and maybe I said it'll work for you, the idea for me is to keep that spirit that I always seem to lose. It's not like, you know, I became another person. I'm just saying it made me feel sad, which was, again, a form of depression. I find that just playing the music and acting as, you know, the way I have been for the weeks coming up to Christmas, by just keeping it going for another week or so, has made me feel better, made me feel happy. And it reminded me, and this would be a help for you if you were to do it, it would remind me of the spirit of Christmas. One thing that Scrooge states in his renewed mind after he's shown the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, he vows to make every day from this day forward Christmas. And I thought that's very engaging, because for those of us who profess to be Christians, that's how it should be. Not so much giving gifts and lots of activities and busyness, but just the spirit of it, the spirit of charity, love, the sense of joy, and all of that. And you may argue and say, well, it's tough in this world. My friend, the world has always been tough. Yeah, the difficult days we live in, but if you study history, even a cursory look at history, or a cursory look at history, it's always been rough. And if we keep the spirit of Christ, it's going to help us to be less fearful, less depressed, and more joyful, confident, stable, and so on. So I offer that to you as just an idea. Something I'm doing, something I did last year. It just came to me, and I found that it worked pretty well. Maybe it'll work for you. In any case, we're heading to the end of this year, and we'll see what this coming year brings us as far as the Oasis is concerned. So, let me pray for you today. I hope that your Christmas went well. I really do. And even if it didn't, then let's make today, let's have the spirit of Christmas starting today, tomorrow, day after. Father, I pray for my friends. I do hope that their Christmas went well. But even if it didn't, as I said, let them enjoy the spirit of Christ of Christmas this day and every day afterwards. Deliver them from their fears and their anxieties and their depressions. And I pray all that today in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Well, all right. God willing, I'll be with you here again tomorrow on the Oasis. I do wish that you had a very pleasant, Merry Christmas, and do pray that God will give you a blessed New Year. Remember, when God blesses, no man can contradict it. Of course, when God curses, nobody can stop that either. But I do pray that God would bless you. That being said, always remember, no matter what, make sure the peace of God rules in your heart. God willing, I'll be with you here again tomorrow on the Oasis. God bless.